Kylian Mbappé just hit a number that should not be mathematically possible for a player his age. 16 World Cup goals in just his third tournament, putting him only 2 behind Lionel Messi's all-time record of 18. A mark Messi only just set this summer. Think about that gap for a second. Messi needed 6 World Cups across 2 decades to get there. Mbappé might get there in 3. Here's a stat that still doesn't feel real, even when you say it slowly. In the 2022 World Cup final, Mbappé scored a hat-trick against Argentina.
Just might! A superstar re-enlivened! A nation
Jeff Hurst is the only other man to ever do that in a men's World Cup final, and he did it in 1966, 56 years earlier. Mbappé matched a record that had survived over half a century, and France still lost on penalties. Most players never get one chance at a moment that big. Mbappé got his, delivered something historic, and still walked away with a runners-up medal, which tells you exactly how absurd the bar is that this man operates above. You'd assume a player with that kind of pressure on him since age 19 would eventually crack. He hasn't. Born in Bondy, just outside Paris, Mbappé broke into Monaco's first team as a teenager and helped them win their first league title in 17 years before PSG paid 180 million euros to sign him, a fee that buries most 18-year-olds under expectation alone. Instead, he became PSG's all-time top scorer with 256 goals. And when he moved to Real Madrid in 2024, he simply picked up where he left off, finishing as La Liga's top scorer in his very first season, while continuing to establish himself as one of the most dangerous forwards in Europe. Now here's where people start raising the obvious objections, and honestly, they're fair. He's 27, this is already his 3rd World Cup, and tournament football has chewed up better strikers before. Fine, reasonable. But here's what those doubts conveniently ignore. France opened this World Cup against Senegal and Mbappé scored twice, a brace that pushed him past Olivier Giroud to become France's all-time leading goal scorer in the middle of a group stage game, almost as a footnote to a bigger performance. He scored twice again against Iraq, putting him on 4 goals through 2 matches and setting up a heavily hyped showdown with Erling Haaland in France's final group game against Norway. Mbappé didn't add to his tally that night, but it barely mattered because his teammate Ousmane Dembélé stepped up instead with a first-half hat-trick as France cruised to a 4-1 win and finished the group stage with a perfect 9 points from 9. What that match proved was arguably even scarier than another Mbappé goal. France don't need him to score every game to be devastating, and yet he still sits on 16 World Cup goals for his career, 2 behind Messi's all-time record, with a guaranteed minimum of 2 more knockout matches still to play. So why does this keep happening to defenders who absolutely know what's coming? Every center back left in this tournament has watched the tape. Everyone knows he's going to run in behind. Everyone knows the ball is going to his right foot in the box, and it still doesn't matter because knowing what Mbappé is going to do and actually having the recovery speed to stop it are 2 completely different problems, and almost nobody left in this competition has solved the second one. Here's my prediction, and I'm putting this on record right now. Mbappé finishes this World Cup as the outright all-time leading goal scorer in the competition's history, passing Messi's mark of 18 before the final whistle blows in New Jersey. At 27 years old, with a realistic shot at one more World Cup in 2030 if he wants it. And if that happens, remember this video because we called it before the knockout rounds even started.